All right, everyone, welcome back for day 12 of our online learning. So for today, we are going to be working with rounding. We did rounding the very first quarter of the year, so I want us to think back all the way back to first quarter when we're doing our rounding, okay? All right, let's get started. So our I can for today is I can round a number to the nearest tens. So today we're focusing on rounding our numbers to the nearest tens place. What you can do is work in your notebook and follow along with me and practice through these examples because you're going to have some to do by yourself in just a little bit, okay? All right, to get us started, I'm going to give us the number 63. All right, remember when we're rounding to our nearest tens place, I want to look at the number in my tens. Is my 3 in my tens place? No. My 6 is in my tens place, so I'm going to underline the 6. All right, I'm going to draw a number line to help me round. I'm going to have benchmarks, and I'm going to have a midpoint. All right, what is the value of 6 tens? How much is 6 tens worth? It is worth 60. What comes after 60 when we're counting by tens? 70, so that goes at our other benchmark. And in between 60 and 70 is 65. Remember, 65 is our midpoint. All right, now we need to place 63 on our number line. Well, my first thought is, does 63 come before 65 or after 65? So if I were to count 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Okay, so it comes before 65. All right, now is 63 closer to 60 or is it closer to 70? If you said it is closer to 60, you are correct. So we know that 63 will round down to 60. All right, we're going to do a few more examples, okay? My next number, let's go with 58. I'm rounding this number to my nearest tens, so I'm going to look at my tens place. I'm not looking at my ones, I'm looking at my tens. First thing I'm going to do is draw my number line, benchmarks, midpoint. How much is 5 tens worth? It is worth 50. That's my first benchmark. What comes after 50 when we count by tens? 60. And in the middle, 55. Now, if I were to start counting, does 58 come before 55 or after 55? It comes after. So just to show you, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. All right, now to figure out if it rounds down or up. So is 58 closer to 60 or is it closer to 50? It is closer to 60, so it would round up to 60. All right, let's do another one. This time, I'm going to use, well, first I'm going to give you an example for you to practice by yourself. Your number is 26. All right, I want you to pause the video. You can solve, and then as soon as you're ready, you can unpause and we'll walk through it together, okay? All right, I would like to hope that you have solved. So your number is 26. I'm rounding to my nearest 10. So am I looking at my ones or my tens? My tens. 2 tens is worth 20. What comes after 20 when counting by tens? 30. And in the middle is 25. My midpoint. Does 26 come before 25 or after 25? After 25. So, does 26, is it closer to 30 or closer to 20? It's closer to 30, so it rounds up to 30. Now, what happens if the number falls in the middle? So if I'm rounding to my nearest tens, how much is 3 tens worth? 30. What comes after 30 when counting by tens? 40. And in the middle is 35. Well, 35 is our midpoint, so if that number happens to be your midpoint, it will always round up to your next benchmark. So 35 rounds up to 40. Last but not least, I'm going to give you an example where you are given 100. First thing I'm going to do is draw my number line, benchmarks and midpoint. Now, I'm rounding to my nearest 10. I'm finding my tens place, so not the 3, but the 6. I am not changing this 100. This 100 is going to stay the same, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in so I don't forget it. How much is 6 tens worth? 60. What comes after 60? 70. And in the middle is 65. Does 163 come before 165 or after? It is before. So is 163 closer to 170 or is it closer to 160? It is closer to 160. So 163 rounds down to 160. I'm going to give you one with a hundreds place in it for you to practice. Mm. 297. All right, draw your number line out. You can pause the video, and as soon as you're ready, unpause and we'll walk through it together, okay? All right, we're still rounding to the nearest 10, so I'm going to underline my number in the tens place. Not my ones, but my tens. Am I changing my 100? No, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in, only this time it's a little bit different. What does 9 tens equal? 90. If I were to count by tens, what comes after 290? 300. And in the middle is 295. 297. Does it come before 295 or after? It comes after. So does it round up because it's closer to 300, or does it round down because it's closer to 290? Very good. It rounds up to 300. All right, you're going to have some that you need to do by yourself in your notebooks that you were given to you by your teachers. Make sure you take a picture of it and send it to your teacher on Dojo. If you need any help, make sure you Dojo your teacher or email them. Have a great rest of your day.